Several weeks later, Gesita always took the same quest as Daryl. He always wanted to play and work with Daryl all the time. This disturbed Daryl, and he was very troubled by Gesita's behavior. Apart from Gesita, Daryl also has a hard time dealing with Marika, who is so obsessed with him like this.
だがそれ以外、俺のセカンドライフは順調だった。日ごと彼女はエスカレートしている。
Because Marika's strength is too strong compared to other girls, Daryl has a hard time overcoming it. Daryl has started to enjoy his new life here and considers Marika's parents his own parents. But he noticed something strange in Lux Village. After Daryl's swoon was treated, he asked Envil about the strangeness of the Lux Village. Why are there so many empty houses in this village? Then Envil told Marika to bring a map of the Lux Village so he could explain it to Daryl. But Marika didn't answer her father's calls, and Daryl rushed to her. It turned out that she was crying because she had hurt her beloved Daryl. Marika couldn't help herself when she met Daryl, and she was worried that one day Daryl would be killed because of Marika's attitude. Then Daryl said that Marika didn't need to worry about that. Upon hearing that, Marika's heart calmed down, and she immediately gave Envil the map of the Lux Village. Envil says that the empty houses were the remains of this village when it was still victorious. Across the village of Lux is the most precious place to the human race. That place is a mithril mine that humans really need because mithril is the strongest material to process into various weapons. For hundreds of years, the demon and human race have fought over the mine site. But when Envil was a child, the mine was overrun by demons. The human race once wanted to take the mine back but failed and gave up. In the past, the Lux Village was always crowded every day because people always transported mithril through this village. But now it is no longer like that, and the population of this village is also becoming less and less. Even the Lux Village can almost be said to be dead because the population is too few. In Daryl's mind, the Demon Nation needs mithril to store magic power and can be used as a magic tool. When in his room, Daryl was still thinking about the mithril mine because he used to always work there. Then Daryl decided to go there the next day to find someone to discuss mithril. But Daryl couldn't openly enter like this because he would likely be caught by the Demon King soldiers. Fortunately, there is a box that Daryl can use to enter this mithril mine. But when Daryl toured the place, it turned out that no soldiers were guarding it. Daryl was confused by the situation because it was much different from when Daryl was still working as a Demon King soldier. Then Daryl took off his box disguise and immediately entered the mithril mine, which was very quiet. Daryl tried to scream for whoever was there, but no one answered his call. Before long, a miner group was eager to work again, and Daryl was grateful to meet them. Workers at this mining site are called Knocker. The Knockers were very happy when they saw Daryl visiting there. In fact, they want to be spoiled by Daryl like they used to do because they miss him so much. Afterward, Daryl asked about what actually happened at this mining site. The Knockers say they were ordered to gather too much mithril. The one who commands the Knockers is a subordinate of King Bashubaza. They were very sad because they were ordered cruelly and differently from Daryl. Only Daryl can remember the name of every Knocker who works in this mining. After Daryl was fired from the Demon King's army, many old soldiers were also fired by Bashubaza. He did this to save money and was on a continuous search for qualified soldiers. Daryl was shocked after hearing the news and felt sorry for these Knockers. Even though they are no longer Daryl's responsibility, the Knockers are always serious about carrying out their work. Before long, the Knockers heard the voice of Bashubaza's subordinate and the soldiers. Then Daryl immediately hid to see what Bashubaza's subordinate, who was commander in this mine, looked like. After Bashubaza's subordinate appeared, Daryl didn't know that person because he was new in the Demon King's army. I'll just call his name Terry. Terry scolded the Knockers for taking too little mithril. The Knockers asked for more time to fulfill Terry's orders. They couldn't gather much mithril if given a little time, but Terry doesn't care and will punish the Knockers if they don't collect more by tomorrow. When Terry wanted to leave there, one of the annoyed Knockers immediately attacked Terry's head. Terry got very angry with them and told the soldiers to kill the Knockers. Dario replies that he is an adventurer from the human nation. Then Terry accused Dario that he had incited the Knockers and wanted to take over this mithril mine. Dario is just an ordinary human who fights relying on weapons only, not comparable to the power possessed by the Demon Nation. Terry also said that the Knockers did not deserve mercy because they did not work according to orders. Terry was the commander assigned directly by Bishubiza, so no one was allowed to argue with that. Then Dario began to use his strength, borrowed the uniform of one of the Knockers, and tied his sword in the sheath. In Dariel's mind, he wanted to fight them without hurting anyone. The soldiers were shocked because Dario tied his sword in the sheath. Then they immediately chanted a magic spell against Dario. Of course, Dario had memorized the magic spells cast by the soldiers. Even he could remember how long they chanted magic spells and how much attack power they had. The Knockers also want to help Dario when the soldiers' magic spells are about to be released. But suddenly, the soldiers cancel their magic and prefer to kick the Knockers. After seeing that, Dario remembered that soldiers only fight earnestly on the battlefield. Because of that, Dario immediately discussed with the soldiers not fighting the Knockers. They were just ordinary civil servants, and the soldiers had to live up to the principles of the Demon King army. If soldiers killed commoners, it would be on the same level as murderers. When the soldiers wanted to withdraw their intention, Terry suddenly attacked Dario and forced the soldiers to kill him.
貸してくれ。100対1だぞ。いや、あいつ全属性の英将軍を覚えているのか。
When Dario wanted to threaten Terry, he said he wasn't part of the Demon King's army. Terry is just an ordinary civilian who coincidentally meets Bishubiza while working at a restaurant. After they chatted there for quite a while, Bishubiza suddenly entrusted mithril mining to him. Of course, Dario was shocked because Bishubiza was too stupid because he preferred to fire Dario and be replaced by Terry, who couldn't do anything. Then Dario said that Terry shouldn't have ordered the soldiers to kill civilian workers. The status of the Knockers was the same as Terry's, and the soldiers also had the pride of protecting civilians.
君たちも帰っていいんじゃないかな。
It turned out that Dario decided to let Terry live and order the soldiers to return to the base to carry out their duties as usual. The Knockers were amazed by Dario because it was the first time they had seen him like this. The Knockers also just found out that Dario comes from a human race who grew up in a demon nation. Then they want to be with Dario forever. They don't want to work for the demon nation anymore.
じゃあどうするか考えてみるか。
これからもずっとダリエル様にお供しますだ。ダリエル様がいりゃ安心だ。ダリエル様がこんなにお強いなんて。
After that, Dario reports to Envil that he has successfully taken over the mithril mines, and the Knockers want to work for the human race. Of course, Envil was shocked after hearing that because they had been on the Demon Nation side a long time ago. But Dario couldn't say anything and immediately begged Envil to take in the Knockers. Then Envil agrees to Dario's request and informs the Downtown Adventurers Guild of this matter.
みんなで考えよう。はい。
So many weeks passed, and the mithril mines finally returned to the human nation again. Many citizens and adventurers worked together to renovate the mithril mining site. Meanwhile, the Knockers became the leaders of mithril mining. The residents of Lux Village also renovated an empty house there. And finally, Lux Village was back to being as busy as it used to be. Envil thanks Dario because he has changed the fate of this village. But Dario remained humble, saying that this incident was just his luck. Before long, Marika brought lunch for Dario and Envil, but suddenly Marika tripped over a rock, and Dario accidentally held Marika's boobs while saying her name without a formal call.
ダリエルさん。兄貴。毎日呼ばれたいです。まるで自分のものみたいに呼